Everyone knows Will Byers vanished in episode 1 of Stranger Things, but what if I told you we actually have the full story of what happened to him in the Upside Down? His days, his nights, his survival, his fear. The Netflix series only gave us glimpses, but the official Stranger Things comic, The Other Side, reveals everything. So today, let's break it all down, issue by issue, and see exactly what Will went through while everyone in Hawkins thought he was gone. It begins exactly where season 1, episode 1 ends. Will is racing home after Dungeons and Dragons, but the Demogorgon catches up. He crashes his bike, runs to the shed, just like we saw on screen. Will loads up his dad's rifle, but before he can even fire, the air rips open. He's yanked into the Upside Down. The same Hawkins, but rotten. Air thick with spores. Roads cracked. The world upside down. And from that moment, Will Byers is fighting for his life. He runs. He hides. He stumbles back to his own house, but it's not home anymore. Then he runs again, sprinting for Castle Byers, his little fort in the woods, the one place he thinks is safe. Inside, his breath clouds in the air as he hides. He grabs a rifle, tries to stay quiet, and then, just for a split second, he sees her, 11, standing there in the shadows. Her eyes meet his, and then she vanishes, like smoke in the wind. Was she really there, or just a flicker of his imagination? For Will, it's the cruelest kind of hope. Here one moment, gone the next. The phone rings. He grabs the receiver, desperate. Static explodes. The Demogorgon crashes through, melting the phone in his hands, the first of many failures to reach her. That night, wandering through the dark, mirrored streets of Hawkins, Will hears something, a scream. Not his mom, not his friends, Barb. He follows the sound to Steve's house. From the backyard, he peers into the pool. It's empty, except for something floating at the bottom. Barb's goggles, cracked, splintered. The Demogorgon already claimed her. Will whispers into the darkness, "Hello? Is anyone there?" But there's no answer, just silence. Will goes home again and tries to communicate with his mom. But then, just like in the show, the Demogorgon rips open the wall, tearing the portal wider. Mother and son almost touch, but then it slams shut again. Joy screaming on one side, Will sobbing on the other. And seconds later, the portal is gone. Will goes back into the woods and stumbles across a Hawkins lab researcher. The poor guy is already wounded, terrified, scrambling through the dark, and then the Demogorgon strikes. Will hides, peering from behind the vines as the monster devours him. The screams echo, and all Will can do is shut his eyes. Another person gone. And suddenly, the Demogorgon comes for him. Will runs away as fast as he can. When he stumbles near the trees again, he sees Nancy. Nancy slipping through the tree portal, the same way she did in season 1. She doesn't see him, but Will, desperate to help, throws stones, distracting the Demogorgon just long enough for Nancy to slip away. Later, he calls out to Nancy and Jonathan, but they've already left. Then he runs back to Castle Byers, and as he goes, he imagines himself as Will the Wise. When he arrives, he curls up and falls asleep. That's when 11 appears, just for a moment. In the Upside Down, she flickers in and out. She tells him, "Your mom, she's coming for you." Then she vanishes. Will the Wise begs her to stay, but she's gone. At Castle Byers, he clings to one thing, his favorite song, "Should I Stay or Should I Go?" He sings it to himself, the lyrics bouncing off the rotting wood. It comforts him, but it's also bait, because the Demogorgon hears it. By the time he reaches his breaking point, Will collapses at Castle Byers again. He imagines himself as Will the Wise, ready to cast one final fireball at the Demogorgon, but his hands shake. His spell fails, and he knows he's not strong enough. The monster drags him to the library, its lair. Bodies hang like trophies, and there, Will sees Barb's corpse, pale, lifeless, covered in vines. He can't even scream. His voice is gone. By the time Hopper and Joyce find him, Will is unrecognizable, pale, barely breathing, with that thing's grip still inside him. They rip him free, saving his body, but the Upside Down has already left its mark. Will wakes up in the hospital, pale, quiet, broken.